Hi, welcome to this week's Craft Time Tuesday. My name is Rocio and I have a really very special project to share with you today. This is my Daguerreotype inspired accordion mini album. And let me tell you a little bit about what a daguerreotype is. So back in the 19th century, there was no photography per se. And a fellow named Louis Daguerre invented this process that was named after him. It was a one-of-a-kind photograph that was made onto a silver copper plate. And the silver copper plate went through several developing processes, including heat. What he would do is, since it was a one-of-a-kind, he would protect it under glass in a frame in a box that looked like this. Now, let me walk you through what this is, or what the front is. Now, the front is made out of chipboard, and my chipboard I make out of cereal boxes. And what I do with my cereal boxes is I just kind of layer them on top of each other until I get the thickness that I want, and then I score and shape to whatever, whatever shape I want, whatever size and shape I want. So the size of this is 3 by 4 approximately. And the chipboard in the front is actually embossed with this Cuttlebug Birds and Swirls folder. And here's what it looks like. Now the chipboard I painted at first with the Ranger archival ink, and I just smeared it all over. And then I got my dabber in gold and in copper, and then I would apply those on it. And then I would get some sandpaper and just start sanding down. And then I would repeat the whole process over again. Now the frame here is a combination of the Nestabilities embroidered oval and in the classic ovals. And these two are both the second to the largest in the collection. So the frame is also made out of chipboard, and I painted it with this Distress Crackle paint. And then I used my Distress ink in the Vintage Photo to just kind of paint around it, just to give it a more defined look to the crackle. Now the oval shape here is just ledger paper, and I stamped it using this stamp here, and I got it at Michael's from Recollections. It was on sale for $1, so why not? So I stamped it using my Vintage Photo, then I stamped it onto the ledger paper, and then I flickered some water onto it, and then I got those H water effects. Of course, I also distressed the edges using the same Vintage Photo inker. Now the key here comes from Tim Holtz Ideology, the Locket key set. And so I used some gesso, I dipped it in gesso, let it dry overnight, grabbed some sandpaper, and very gently just smoothed out, rubbed off some of the gesso there, and gave it that old effect. The flowers come from Prima, and I don't know where I order them from. I keep most of my flowers in mason jars like this, and then I just kind of play with them. The flowers here are from Michael's, and everything is glued on with the hot gun, the hot glue gun, because I didn't want these things to go anywhere. And you can pretty much see that it's on there nice and tight. The leaves here come from this die from Magnolia, and I don't know the name, but I'm going to try to link as many things as possible on my website. And I also distressed them with the Vintage Photo and some gesso. And I did the same thing on the flowers there, as you can see. The hinges on the side of the box come from Tim Holtz Ideology collection as well. And this particular collection, I'm pretty sure, is from this season. Sorry, it's working off camera there. And this is how they come. They come in a collection of two, one a large and then a smaller ones. And they come with the brats, and it worked pretty perfect for this project. Let me show you the inside, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now here's the mini accordion album part. Now when you open it up, here's that velvet part I was telling you about it that a daguerreotype would have. Now the cool thing about this is that this is my great-grandmom. This is my great-grandma, and this is my mom. Now the frame here is all made out of chipboard. So the photograph is a digital photo. It's an actual photograph that I scanned and fixed up a little bit because it was really cracked up. And then I printed on my home inkjet printer, and then I sized and I glued onto the chipboard. And the chipboard is then covered with this what's called glue foil. And here's what it looks like. And it's activated through heat, so you can glue it onto surfaces with heat. And I also painted it with copper, the copper dabbers and the gold dabbers. And then I also inked it with some vintage photo just to give it that aged look, and then sanded down again. Now I dyed it using a larger piece of the classic ovals from Nestability in large. And I embossed the frame on the side, on the edges there. Now the glass there comes from, or the quote-unquote glass is actually plastic from this company here called Gary and Berlin and Company. I got it from Amazon. According to this claim, you can emboss, stamp, you can do all sorts of things with it. So that's what the glass comes from. I also used some sandpaper to sand it a little bit here, sand the plastic to give it that old aged look. Now this side of the frame of the box here is actually a chipboard that I covered in velvet, because I was telling you that the Daguerreotype would have a velvet on the left side of the frame, and on the other side it's covered with the design paper from Graphic 45. And I used two collections from Graphic 45 on the entire project, and one of them was the curtain calls, and the other one was the On the Boardwalk. And what I actually did that you would not find on the Daguerreotype would be I made a sort of hidden compartment. So on this side here you could just remove the velvet and it would be an insert. And here's what I call a hidden compartment. And it's lined with the On the Boardwalk paper. Now the thickness of the frame is 1/2 inch on this side and on the other side. So 1/2 inch here. And so the insert really gently, if you just insert it gently here, it fits right in and just doesn't interfere with the whole closing and opening of the frame. Now I've attached a little ribbon over here because if you pull on the ribbon, and here's the big part, you pull out the accordion. Oh, I love this thing. I really love this thing. So happy with it. Here, I lined it with the Graphic 45 curtain call. All of the inserts here, or rather all of the designer paper on the accordion are from Graphic 45 curtain call. So here's what the cool part is. On this side, when you open it, you have one element of the accordion, and then when you close it and you pull it to the left, you have a second element. There's lots of room for journaling and photos. And now the actual Daguerreotype inspired craft project is my idea, but the accordion here is taken from people on the internet. So I found, all sorts of people doing accordion mini books, and so I took a bunch of ideas and merged them all together. But let me show you what it looks like. So when you open it on this side, here's one insert. Here's the other. And they're relatively easy to grab and pull out and pull in. Here's another insert. And here's yet another insert. And here's another insert. All the inserts are made out of envelope. And I also inked the envelopes with the vintage photo, except this time I used the marker, the distress marker, to do that. And all these little edges here, I used the marker to ink up so that you couldn't see the white from the envelopes or the white of the design paper. Now, again, if you go back to the beginning and flip to the left as opposed to the right, you'll get a whole new different accordion or a different layout. This is what it looks like. And so here are the inserts from the other side right here, and except for this one, this is a unique insert to this side. And the way that this one tutorial that I use and I follow with envelopes, the way that she designed it, or the way that she had glued the envelopes together, allowed for this piece to bend back, and if you glued it down, you would create an insert. So like I said, the envelopes I got from several people online. It's not uniquely my idea. If you do a YouTube search on accordion envelopes, you would find some really cool, helpful tutorials out there. So this is another insert, but this is the insert from the other side as well. And here's an insert unique to this side. And this is an insert unique to this size too, or this side. And that's about it. Isn't it adorable? I'm just so in love with this project. I cannot get enough with it. It took me so long to complete, but I am so 100% satisfied with the result. I can't tell you how thrilled and excited I am about just the way it all turned out. I am so happy with it. I hope you enjoyed that. You can also visit my website for a full detail information on all the projects used at www.theblankpapyrus.com. Please subscribe to the channel if you love what you see. Visit me at the website, leave me comments, whatever, you name it. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you next time. Ciao.